Hi Kelly, welcome to Taz's tutorial. I'm going to go through some of his basic commands and kind of what they look like and how I do them. So the most important commands he has that you're going to really want to keep up with would be sit, down, stay, come, maybe wait. I'll show you what all those are and kind of how I use them. So he can do all these on and off leash. They're fully proofed. The biggest thing would be his release words out of those positions. So he is not, once he is in a position, he's not allowed to remove himself from it unless he's given, he has 3 different kind of release words. One is release into food, and that's going to be in your hand. And you're always going to want to have food if you use that word because it's highly valued to him, and that's YES, a high-pitched yes. And then the most common one you'll use is break, and that just releases him from the command, but he's going to get no food from it. You can give him praise, you can pet him, you can give him anything else, but he's not getting food if you tell him break. And then the third one is okay, and that's just releasing him. That's giving him permission to do whatever he's asking to do. Maybe go through a door, something like that. I use that to let him pass through a door. Maybe you could let him out of a crate with okay. I also use break. Those are kind of interchangeable in that circumstance. But okay releases him when he's not in a command. So if I was going to release him over to say hi to you, I'd say, okay, go say hi, or go see. He knows go see means you can go forward. So let me show you a few of those commands. I'll show you off leash first. He can do both either way. Good boy. Taz, come. So his come does have a specific finish. He should come and sit either between your legs. He can down, he can stand, it doesn't matter. But when you say come, he should always come between your legs. And he would be corrected if he does not finish here because he has been taught that he must come and be between your legs until you release him. So from here, I would say break. So he may or may not move. Usually he would. And that releases him from that command. Taz, sit. Good. So he should sit there. He'll stay there. I could do anything. Move around. Do whatever. He will stay there until he's released. The other release word he has is YES. And that high-pitched tone, it means I'm going to give him the food that's in this hand. Taz, yes! So he knows to move towards me to get that food. And then another really important position, down. Good, down. So I'm also marking with good. That's his duration that he knows he did the right thing. I'm not paying him yet. I could pay him and say good and let him know he's doing a good job there. He should stay there. No matter what goes on, he should be in that position until I release him. Good boy. Taz, break. Good boy. That's a good boy. So with that one, I'm not giving him any food there. So he is released from the position, but no food is being given for break. So we got sit. Stay is an important one. Wherever he currently is, he should stay in that position if you tell him to stay. It could be standing, sitting, it could be anywhere, he should stay there. So let's say he's already put himself in a sit, so stay. Good boy, good stay. So he should stay there for as long as you want him to until you release him. Yes! So that's the release with food. Good boy. So 2 other positions he knows that are just really more positions would be he has a left and a right side he will come to and sit. I was building that into a focused heel, and that's not really going to be very beneficial to you because it's like a prancing heel where he's fully upright. He's doing his little prancing feet. I'm sure you saw a video of that. So he does associate those words with them, but he will also just come to the position before he starts. So it would look like this. Taz, heel. So heel would be his left side. He'll come and sit by your left side. He should stay there until otherwise. On the right would be a German word, Fuß. Good. He should stay there. And so what I was building was that focused heel. It'd be an open hand lure. Double click of the tongue for movement. Yes! And he does that prancing. Again, that's not useful for you. So the way you would be using him moving beside you, he does not associate with those 2 commands. He actually associates with a different command. So I'll show you what that looks like on the leash. So when you're walking him on the leash, I would recommend either walking him under no command, so he'd be under break. You could just tell him break and he can move anywhere he wants. He should always yield to the leash, no matter how long the leash is. If he feels pressure on the leash from hitting the end of it because he's moving away, he should understand when he feels that he's moving with it. So if I'm here, he's not paying attention, he feels pressure. Good boy, he's gonna move with it. Now let's say we're walking, he's doing a good job, he's just walking with me, but now I want him to walk with me on one of my sides. So he has 2 different words for each side, or 2 words for one for each side. His left side is with me, Taz, with me. Good. So here, he's gonna walk beside me on the left. His body should stay roughly with me. So I'm not super particular on exact where it is, but he should not pass me. If he were to pass me, then he would be corrected. If he was to move out in front of me, I'd give him a little leash pop. So he should move with me, staying beside me. When I stop, he should stop. So if he's not paying attention, like he wasn't quite there when I stopped, it just a little tap of the leash. For his right side, it is on me. Taz, on me. Good boy. And now he should be following along on the right side. Good boy. Good. Sit. Good. I don't require a sit for him to finish that by any means. And usually when I have him under that with me or on me, I don't want him looking at me. I actually just want him plodding along. But because we're out here training with his breakfast for this video, he is looking up at me because he's hoping he's going to get some food out of it. So while I'm talking about the leash, I will say, let's go. Let's go. We'll get him to move forward or move out of a, if he's sniffing something, you don't want him to sniff. You could say leave it, which means whatever you're sniffing, I really don't want you to get into. That could mean you're about to eat a stick, you're about to eat something I don't want. Leave it means you're kind of being bad, versus let's go means either you're just not walking fast enough, or I need you to move faster, or you're at a stop and I need you to walk on. So those are kind of 2 other little things he knows. I was just going to mention the prong collar kind of goes up right behind his ears. I'll show you how to take it on and off, but you want to make sure it stays high on his neck. That's where all the muscle is, and it's the most comfortable and best position for it to be in. And again, he should yield completely to that. It should take almost no pressure. You can use it as a correction, as a pop. Let's say he was to bark at a dog and you told him enough or no, and he barked again, then you would give him a little pop. So you do always want to give him the verbal before you give him a correction. You want to give him the chance to listen to you before you physically enforce it. So if let's say you're passing a dog, the dog is going hysterically at him barking, and he decides he's going to bark back and he's going to let out a little bark. He's not really, I've never really seen him go for like the bark, 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 but sometimes he'll let out a little defensive like, so if he does that once, then I'll mark that with, he has a few different words that mean what you're doing is not what I want you to do it. It'd be no, nein, which is the German command for no, enough, leave it, and those are kind of his main ones. So I would use no and nein at any time I don't like what he's doing and he needs to stop. So you could use either one of those 2. Enough is kind of a warning. I use that the most when he's vocalizing, like if he's whining a bunch and he's just kind of being a brat. If he's doing some whining, I'll tell him enough. That's a warning. Again, if you don't, that's either going to be enforced by the e-collar or his prong collar if he's on leash. And then leave it, again, is kind of used more for him, like let's say he was chewing this stick. And then he does also have 2 release commands. So if he was chewing on this stick, I would tell him to drop, and he would release it from his mouth. Drop. Good. And I would not use that if we're playing. So if we're playing with a toy, let's say we're playing, see if I can get him to play with it. No, you're not going to cooperate? Okay. If he's playing with a toy, he knows the word A-U-S, aus. Good. Let me see if I can get it. Aus. Good. Get it. Okay, well, get it means you can go back to whatever you were playing with. It's yours again. So, like it when you're playing, he likes to play with stuffies the best. So when you're playing with those stuffies, he will be playing, tugging, and then you say aus, he should give it right back to you. And then I would give it back to him quickly, or you could even have him do some obedience commands before giving it to him. But then before he's released to it, it's get it, and that's going to release him to it. Now, one of his other favorite things is being released to food that has been scattered or thrown out. So one of his favorite words in the entire world is find it. And so that means that there is food in play that you are allowed to go search for. So he does this when you have his food dispensing toys. You can throw the toy out and say, find it, and he'll find it. He loves playing, like if it's a rainy day, he loves playing a game where you can have him in his crate or you can put him in a downstay. You can take a really tasty treat like a piece of jerky or a big treat or something like that, hold it up to his nose and tell him smell. He'll smell it, and then you go hide it anywhere in your house. And then when you come back, he's in a downstay or in his crate. You release him and you say, find it, and he will search the entire house until he's found that. So that's a really good mental stimulation thing on like a rainy day, or if you just want to play a little game with him. But he also can do that when you're just training with him. You can toss food and say find it. I also do that sometimes with his breakfast or his dinner. I'll just let him search in the grass, or sometimes I'll toss it on my floor and he'll search around for it. So it'll look like this. You could do it out of a command to release him, to release him out of a command, or just for his own mental stimulation. So Taz, come. So he's between my legs. He has to stay there. I'm going to throw some food out. So he sees that. He's not allowed to get it, not allowed to go. Find it. So that's one of his, like, pretty much, that's probably his favorite word in the entire world, is find it. He highly values food and he loves searching for it. So that's like peak Taz happiness right here, is looking for food. Big food guy. So that's really good, just mental stimulation for him, but it's also another way to release him from commands. Sometimes I'll also have him on the flexi and I will just take a piece of kibble and I will toss it down the road and say find it, and he'll chase after it. Because he's not big on chasing toys yet, that's another thing I've done with him, is kind of get him chasing food. And again, it's just tossing a piece and say find it. Or if he's in a command, you can toss the food. He should not leave the command. It's good for proofing his commands. And then you tell him to find it after you've determined the duration's long enough. Let's say he's in a down, toss the food out, and then you say find it, and he'll go find it. So he's going to be munching on these kibbles in the grass for a little bit. Try to think what else I need to tell you. He does have a few kind of like tricks and stuff that he knows, like the weaving between my legs would be through, and he moves between my legs. He'll jump on me with the command, and he also has a front position. I can show you all those real quick. Maybe when he's done with his little kibbles. Taz! Good boy, good. So that gets him up on top of me. Good. Okay. Good boy. He has a front position. Front. Good. Right between my legs. Facing me. Right here. Yes. The yes again is food being released. He's going to come get the food from my hand. And then the going through my legs. Taz. Through. Good. Through. 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 Yes. Good. And then I have not fully proofed his spin and his twirl. If he was facing you, the spin is to his right. Spin. Good. Good boy. Twirl is to his left. Those you still have to work on. I'm still luring those to some degree. I don't think he has those words fully proofed yet. Again, those are not really that important. It doesn't really matter. And you do hear me periodically telling him good. Okay. That's just a duration marker letting him know he's doing what I want. You can pay that or not. And then you just saw I just said okay. That's kind of releasing him back into the environment. He might have a few more kibbles he can go find. But he was not under any command. So I did not say break there because I didn't have him under anything. You could. I mean, he pretty much understands what both of those mean. The only time I would not switch those up is I would not say okay to release him from a known command like down or stay or sit or something. Other than that, what else does she need to know about you? He does have a few words that mean body parts that he knows. So I will shoot a different segment to show you how I do his nails, his ears, and his teeth. But if you're like, let's say it's muddy, it's been raining, and you're going to wipe his feet. When he comes inside, Taz, woo. You can lift his foot up. Foot, good. Foot, good. So he knows you're going to touch his foot. You just say foot, and then you lift his foot up. His ears. You can do that just to rub his ears. I would also use that to clean his ears, just so he knows what body part I'm expecting him to be compliant with. And then, the other couple things when he's walking, I do have a few things that mean, I already mentioned let's go, means we're moving on, let's move on. Go faster if he's too slow. Or there's also whoa. I used to train horses, so I have a lot of those lingos. Whoa means to slow down. If he's not moving, let's say he's Tazzy. Good. He also responds really well to his name. Sometimes he'll just auto recall on his name. That's fine. But let's say he's sitting here, but I want us to keep moving. I will double click my tongue. Good. And then he's going to move along. So a double click of my tongue means we're moving. A single click, I usually let him know. This I use the most when we're like on a flexi. If we're walking around a bunch and he's going the wrong direction, this way is his best way of knowing I'm supposed to come towards you, but I don't have to recall. This way just means move in this direction. Or sometimes if he's just making a wrong turn, I'll just click my tongue and that'll get his attention on me. One click means you need to look at me and see what we're doing because you're not doing what I'm doing. But he also, I would say this way is 10 times more proofed than that. That's a better way of telling him he's going the wrong direction. What else do I need to tell you? There's so much. I feel like I shot a 15-minute video before this and the camera stopped rolling, so I had a bunch of stuff I went over and it did not film. So this is take 2. I'm trying to think what else you need to know. If you are going to pick him up, I tell him help up, and it lets him know he's going to be picked up and he's going to stay there and he's not allowed to squirm to get down. So he will be held until you want to release him. Okay, good boy. So he's got that. What else does she need to know about you? I guess the e-collar I'll go over real fast. I'll show you this more in person. But there are 7 levels on this e-collar. The side button is a boost, so whatever level is going to be a little bit more intense if you press the side. The button that has a little texture to it, a little knob, is the nick. So that just sends 1. If you press it once, it's going to send 1 electrical stimulation to him. Taz, this way. Good boy. Good. Find it. It's going to send 1 electrical stimulation to him. That's the button you're going to use the most. And then there's a 3rd button down here, and it's a continuous. So if you hold that down, it's going to continuously send stimulation to him. You won't really need that often. The one that has the texture you can feel with your thumb is going to be the one you're going to use the most. So if I were you, I'd probably leave it on like a level 3. That's kind of like a medium ground. He will be able to feel it, but it's not going to be adversive to him really at all. It's going to be kind of like if he's not paying attention to you. Let's say he sees something, you recalled him, but he was so focused on something in the distance, sometimes auditory exclusion happens. They don't hear you because they're so locked into something. He has very little prey drive, but he is a nosy little guy. So sometimes he'll just be looking at something and he won't hear. So you just give him a little nick, press the one with the texture, he'll feel it, and then he'll be like, oh, what did she say? Oh, she said come, and he'll come running. Now, if you need more of a stronger correction, you're probably going to have to leave the phone alone. You're probably going to have to go up to a 4 or 5. 4 or 5. 6 and 7 is definitely a strong correction. 7 hurts. I highly recommend you feel what all these levels feel like on your own skin. 7 is uncomfortable. 6 doesn't feel great. 5 is the beginning of like a real correction. So 3 and 4, I would use if he's just not paying attention. He blows off a command. 5, 6, and 7 are definitely a stronger correction. He's pretty unadverse to e-collar stimulation. He's very used to it. I did a lot of training with it on low levels, so he does not find it particularly adversive like some dogs do. So he definitely can handle higher levels, but I would keep it on a 3 for the most part, and then just dial it up if you need to. There is a vibrate on here. The vibrate, I have not taught him anything with it. I considered teaching him an auto down with the vibrate, so I wouldn't have to say it. Like, he could be at half a mile away and I could vibrate it and he would auto down and stay there until I got to him. But I have not taught that, so you could teach anything you wanted with the vibrate or just leave it alone. He's not scared of the vibrate, so if you did accidentally vibrate it, he doesn't care, but there is no associated command with the vibrate currently. What else does she need to know about you, Taz? Those are kind of the main basics. I'm sure I've forgotten things that I mentioned in the first 15-minute video that didn't record itself. Taz, this way. Good boy. So that's one of the commands you'll probably use the most, especially if you have him off leash or on the long line. It's just getting him to move towards you, but you don't need him to do anything particular. And then if he got to you and you wanted him to do something, Taz, down. Good boy. You can have him down there, or anything. And again, once he's here, he should stay here until you release him. Good boy. So this is an instance where he really enjoys, you can see 9 down, He'll try to kind of lift himself up sometimes. He's naughty. But you should be able to put food out. And this is his favorite way. He likes YES, that marker, to get released to your hand a lot. But he values searching for food very highly. Find it. And that's something I would continue with him if I were you. That's one of his favorite things, is searching for food. I mean, really just food in general, but searching definitely has a lot of value for him, and it has a lot of mental stimulation. It's something he really enjoys. So like I said, either the searching game in the house, just searching for the food, also the food in his food dispenser toys for his meals, obviously spreads food around so he gets to search for it there. But yeah, that's kind of, I mean, those are the main things I think of. I will probably remember that I didn't tell you some things in this video and have to shoot another segment. That's okay. And then of course, if you have any questions, I'm always here. So those are the main things I wanted to go over for Taz's little tutorial. And yeah, I'm super excited that you're going to be trusted with taking care of this lovely little guy. All right, thank you. Okay, 2 more things I did think of that he knows are, hi cutie. So he has a word, place, that means whatever I'm pointing at, you are to sit on or be on until I tell you you can get off. So that we use most with his place cot, which is the elevated bed you'll see in his grooming video, or on a bed. So if I point to his dog bed and I say place, he has to stay on that until he's released. So I will show you, since I don't have a bed out here, I'll show you what that kind of looks like. Good boy. Taz, place. Good. Good boy. So he's just getting up there. This is like a bad example because obviously it's a chair, whatever. Sit. Taz, sit. Good. So you saw there, he tried to go into an auto down. So you can decide if you want to let that happen. Personally, I'm very strict. So if I say sit, sit means sit and down means down. So good boy. So I will correct him if he downs when I say sit. Taz, down. Good boy. So if he's currently, although I said down, he's on a place command. So he should not be getting off of that until I tell him he can. Taz, break. Good boy. So that is another command he has. And then another super important one is off. I use off if he, let's say he got on this on his own volition. And I did not want him. This is, let's say he's on the couch and you don't want him on the couch, or he got on your bed, you don't want him on your bed. Anything you don't want him on. Taz, off. Good boy. Or if he's jumping on you. So if he was jumping on me, then I would tell him to get off with the off command. Usually it's when he is on something he's not supposed to be, whether it's on with his entire body or with his front paws. So those are 2 other little things that just came to mind that he knows. And he's so cute. Good boy. Okay, let's go. One other thing he also knows that's useless is if I tell him, if I point at something, feet. Good. If I say feet, it just means put your front feet on it. So it does not mean to get up onto something. It just means put your feet. And then if I say up, good. Then that means I want you to get up onto something and your entire body goes on there. So those are another 2 that are not particularly essential, but fun little things he knows how to do and the difference between them. So he's not allowed to leave a door until he has been released with, I have a double threshold, so he's not allowed to step off the stoop either. So I go with Taz, okay. He's out here. And then for our Taz, good. Place. So this is the place I was showing you. This is what he associates the strongest with place, but he also has a really strong bed stay with the place. So I use this for all of his care. Good. Let's see what angle you'll be able to see best with. So I do put him on an elevated surface. That way he knows when he's under his place command, he's not allowed to move from there anyways. So it does help keep him still since he's a little busybody. I'm just using regular nail clippers here. It's what he's most used to. Good. He doesn't, I don't force him into position all the time, but it does help if he lays down. Has he? Good boy. Good. So I do use an element of cooperative care here. So he's used to, he doesn't love his feet being touched, which is why I've worked so hard on the foot touching command. So I just start with telling him foot. He knows he's going to have to comply with that. Good. And I pay him every time. Since he still doesn't like this, he's still a puppy, he's still learning. I pay him every time you want me to take your foot? Good. You offering it up? Good boy. So he might give me a little hassle in the beginning. Good. Foot. Good. One clip, and then I give him one. Nope. He's not allowed to get off. Good boy. Keep your butt down. Foot. Good. So I don't make him necessarily lay down, but it is easier. Now, if I told him the down command, then he would have to stay down, which is why I don't often enforce it, because I don't care so much. Good foot. Good. I don't care that he's at a down. No, you can't get off though. Good. But it usually is easier, especially on an elevated bed like this. It's much easier if he's laying down usually. Foot. He dislikes his front feet much more than his back. Good foot. Good boy. Good. Foot. Good foot. So I'm just paying him after each one. Ideally, I sometimes mess up, but I like to tell him foot before I take his foot. Good. And I do keep the leash on just in case, like you see, he tends to forge forward. He gets excited. Foot. How about getting the reward? Good foot. But it should be pretty simple like that. Just a clip. Say foot. Good foot. Clip the nail. Go back for a second clip if it's too long. Whoop. Good foot. Good boy. Foot. You just want to give me the other one? I gotta get this one, buddy. Good boy. And I would recommend giving him the reward each time. He's being really compliant with it. Before he was an absolute nightmare. So it does definitely help giving him good foot, giving him the reward each time. And then I just do the same process on his back feet. A little harder to get to sometimes. Good foot. Good boy. Good foot. Good boy. Foot. Good boy. Good foot. Good boy. Foot. Good. Good. Up. My brother. Good foot. Good boy. Good. Good foot. Good boy. Alright, so that's his nails. Easy peasy. His ears, he definitely dislikes. He doesn't mind his ears being touched, but he dislikes them with liquid, which is understandable. So I've just got his ear cleaning solution, cotton swabs, and I'm gonna do, to keep his mind occupied, I'm gonna try it like this. See how he does with this kind of situation. So, up, 9. I'm gonna get the swab nice and wet. Oops. Cheater. I'm gonna put it between my legs, and so he has something to work on. And then the swab goes in the ear. Good. Good. Yep, perfect. One does good. Second swab. Still working on that peanut butter. In the ear. Massage it. Good ear. Good boy. Good. Ooh, shake those ears out. Good job, buddy. I'm going to finish the peanut butter. Yeah. And that just helps stabilize him because he'll be a little squirmy if you don't have anything to keep his mind occupied while water goes into his ears. Good boy. Good. Good job, bud. Alright, so that's his ears. And now that he has peanut butter breath, we can brush his teeth with chicken toothpaste. So not much better, but Taz 9. Give me space. Nah. Oh, can you clean that off for me? Thank you. So this is a dog toothbrush, got 3 prongs to it, some chicken toothpaste. I think it's enzymatic toothpaste. I kind of rub it into the bristles so he doesn't just eat all of the toothpaste at once. And then he's still working on his teeth brushing. He kind of eats the toothbrush, half eats, half brushes. Good. Teeth. So I kind of let him get in there, trying to brush while he kind of mauls the toothbrush. He's still working on the not eating the toothbrush while we brush. Good. Good teeth. Half eating, half brushing at this point. Good boy. Teeth. He has one molar that's like a little cracked back there. I try to really get that molar. It's a little bit of a different molar. It tends to trap food. Came like that as a baby. Let's see. Good teeth. You got peanut butter in your teeth still. Good boy. And then I'll just try to make it a good experience. Let him lick the rest of the toothbrush off. Good boy. Finish that? Good. So that's pretty much it. That's his nails, teeth, and ears all in one. Good boy.